things I want to talk to you about today is how to lose 15 to 20 pounds in 20 days and keep it off, okay? So let's dive right into it. So are you someone who has been kind of struggling to lose weight? Have you tried like fad diets? Have you been exercising at the gym all the time? Maybe you've hired personal trainers. Maybe you've changed up your diet. Maybe you've went to keto. Maybe you've went to fasting, whatever it may be. And maybe you've seen some short-term results from that. Maybe you've had, like a couple pounds here. Maybe you did get to where you lost that 10 or 15 pounds. But a couple months later, did that just come right back, or did you fall kind of back into that trap again immediately? And I have kind of like a different approach that I want to bring to mind for you, and that is that it may not be your fault that that is happening. You may be doing everything right, and you may be doing everything perfectly from a diet and exercise standpoint. But if you have any sort of GI dysfunction, whether it's gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, and you're still struggling to lose weight, one of the things that I have found working with hundreds of clients and working with a lot of people is that gut dysfunction can actually be a huge reason why people are unable to lose weight, why they have obscure labs for like their thyroid, their adrenals, their hormones, whatever it may be. A lot of this for me as a clinician and what I've seen comes back to them having a dysfunctional gut. And a lot of the times what I would see is some people would get better for a short amount of time, but then what would happen is they would fall right back into that rhythm, and then they would have those issues all over again, and it would just kind of repeat the cycle. And diving further into this, what I found was that when we would take x-rays on people who had these chronic health conditions, is that they would actually have bloating in their stomach, and then they would have like a lot of stool left over in their intestinal tract as well. So even though that they would say that, oh, my bowel movements are normal, everything is fine, I don't even have GI issues, there is still an issue because that is like toxic sludge sitting in your body. And a lot of the times the gas and the bloating is the reason why people actually look like they have a big belly, or look like they have a little bit more fat tissue or something else. But when we look on x-rays, there's actually not that much fat tissue on their abdomen. It was all being protruded by this distension of gas and stool just kind of locked up. Now, how many times should you go to the bathroom a day? I say that you should go at least 1 to 2 times a day, and that is depending on like if you're eating appropriately. A lot of the times I feel that people aren't eating appropriately for their blood sugar. Now there are all these fads with keto and fasting and other issues, but I actually found that you can eat more and lose weight faster and exercise less and actually have better results than you can by starving yourself and only eating a couple of times a day. Because if you're going and you're up and you're active and you're doing things, then a lot of the times you need a lot more food than you think. Especially for women, what I see is that they get these hormonal issues because they've been starving themselves, or they haven't been eating appropriately, or you're running on caffeine, which causes issues with crashing your blood sugar. And that can actually lead to you developing a gut issue, because if you're not eating appropriately, what will happen is you'll secrete a hormone called cortisol, which will actually break down your stomach lining. And that will cause issues like leaky gut. It'll cause the gut dysbiosis, or the bacterial overgrowth, which produces methane gas, which can cause that bloating and abdominal distension. So the reason that I bring this up is because a lot of the times when we do simple GI cleanses with our patients, what we do is we just clean everything out, get them evacuating their bowels, and a lot of the times they lose like 5 to 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks. And that's just simply by getting them to get that poop out of them. And so with that being said, a lot of the times you want to think about it like this: if you have a chronic autoimmune condition or inflammatory condition, is that if you had your house and you were producing 3 bags of trash a day, but you were only taking out 1 a day, over time that's going to compound, and you're going to have a lot of trash sitting in your house. And one of the things is that if you have like leaky gut and you start poking holes through this trash and it starts seeping out all throughout your house, what's going to happen is that your house is really going to start to stink. It's going to have other issues. It's going to attract other animals, whatever it may be. It's going to cause issues. So if your house is smelly and stinky, or it's inflamed, or it's having you're just having problems, especially these autoimmune conditions, then you need to look at how much are you as a person toxic due to the fecal matter sitting inside your stomach, and getting that out is like extremely crucial. And so, ladies, I just want to tell you, because I've seen this over and over again, is that it's not that you need to exercise more, or it's not that you need to exercise less. If you've been doing that and you're struggling and you're just not getting the results that you want, then take a step back and look at your gut dysfunction. Look at your gut. Do testing if you have to, or reach out to somebody who knows about the gut and knows how to do appropriate cleansing protocol in order to get those bowels moving and get everything out of there, because that can be extremely beneficial for you and your health, and also your mental health as well, and get somebody there to support you through it. But while we know that this kind of works is because there are studies that show that people who have morbidities or big issues like obesity, or they have an autoimmune condition, they're actually doing fecal transplants now. And so the fecal transplant is taking it from somebody who is very healthy and maybe a normal weight, and transplanting it into somebody who maybe isn't as healthy. And what happens is that person will actually exhibit the traits of the healthy person. So they'll start losing weight, their autoimmune condition will go away, and they'll start being healthier all over again. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't necessarily want to play with poop and do all of that stuff. So I just kind of work on my own internal digestion. I use like glutamine, aloe vera extract, marshmallow extract, ginseng, a few other things, a few other herbals, just to kind of help and make sure everything's cleared out. But you can do that, and from that study we can see that just how profound your gut microbiome is on your overall health. And so we want to make sure that before we start doing any medications or any other therapies, that is the first step that we start with in order to get you the best results the fastest. And another thing that kind of shows, there are certain bacteria in your gut microbiome which actually feed off sugar. And so most bacteria actually feed off sugar. So if you have an overgrowth of bacteria in your gut, then a lot of the times what they're going to do is they're going to make you crave sugar. So if you have like an addiction to sugar, or if you have a problem with eating too much sugar or carbohydrates, it could be that you have a gut microbiome problem. Just as this is a pretty cool fact, that you actually have more gut microbiome cells, so more actual bacteria in your gut, than you actually do human cells that are actually you. So they play a bigger constituent of how your eating habits and your health and your genetic factors than actually you do. And so by controlling those and having that good symbiotic relationship and learning and being proactive about it, you can actually use that to your benefit. So you can use it to help you achieve your goals, whether it's weight loss, getting rid of this autoimmune condition, increasing performance, or whatever it may be. You can use this to really take it to your advantage. So now I'm going to have a link below, so if you want to know more about restoring your gut health, you can go check that out. It's just a simple little sheet, and it just talks about the 4 ways or the 4 steps that you need to restore your gut health. Please like and comment if you found this helpful. If you do have issues, just comment below, say what you're struggling with, if you would like me to do kind of like a deep dive into certain conditions, or how to heal the gut microbiome, or how to heal the gut, or just anything else. Maybe you have your own story of how you corrected your own gut imbalance and some steps that you were taking in order to do that, to get the results. So I want this to be kind of like a community effort. I want to know more about how I can help you and how I can educate you so that you can take advantage of certain tools and get the results that you want, especially if you've been struggling for a long time. So please like and comment, share this with anybody that you think needs to hear this. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, I would greatly appreciate it if you just comment in below. That way I can look over it, and I'll look forward to connecting with anybody. If you want to hop on the email list, I'll be sending out some different resources that you can use to learn more about gut health and overall health. So thank you for your time, and I will see you next time. Bye.